In this episode of Talking About Orcs, we're going over the Orc flyers. We have 4 flyers to choose from, which is quite nice to have all this variety. They all have the same stats, so they're all start with base movement 20 to 50 and go down to 20 to 25. Weapon skill 5, start at 5 and go down to 6. Strength 6, toughness 6, 12 wounds, attacks, who cares, leadership 6, and a 4+ save. So I said all 4 planes have the exact same stats. Starting with the Dakajet is pretty simple. It comes with 4 super shooters, and each super shooter is 3 shots. And you can take 2 more, which you'll always take, for a total of 6 super shooters or 18 shots. At strength 6, AP -1 and 1 damage. So this thing is really good at just mowing down infantry and light armor. But again, that's something the Orcs really don't need a lot of, but this is just really good at it, for sure. Airborne, of course, it's airborne, can only fly, it's -1 to hit. Supersonic, so you can only turn once during its movement. And it has a great ability, Daka Daka Daka. If a Dakajet targets the same unit with all of its super shooters, you can add 1 to all those hit rolls. So you got 18 shots at strength 6 hitting on 4s. Dakajet is amazing. Pure and simple. There's no real downside to Dakajets. I think it's one of the, just like it was in the previous edition, I think it's one of the better flyers that we can have, and or the best flyer that we can get, that we have access to. It just puts out so much high quality shooting, and fortunately, you know, overall the Orc flyers are not that resilient with only a 4+ save, but they are still pretty good. I mean, they are -1 to hit, so that's not going to do much against anyone with rerolls, but against most shitty armies like Tau or Imperial Guard, started at BS4, it's not too bad. So, and the prices are not too bad either, considering what you get for them. So just how much is a Dakajet again? All the flyers, you know, generally are about the same price range. Yeah, so that's under 150 points for Dakajet. So that's an amazing value. Dakajets, again, just like before, they were really good. They are still really good. So, and having a Dakajet or 2 in your army, no matter what you're playing, is always going to be, I think, a worthwhile investment. If nothing else, especially if you're playing with other heavy vehicles, it'll be a good incentive for them to shoot at the Dakajet instead of your battle wagons or something like that with their las cannons, which I think distractions are a very important strategy to Orcs. So anyway, Dakajets, great, absolutely fantastic. Burner bombers. Burner bombers are interesting. So they have twin big shooters, which are Grot gunners, so they hit on 4s. 2 super shooters, so again that's 6 base shots, not too bad. And 2 burner bombs. Burner bombs, you drop something over a unit as you flew over. After the burner bomb, let's see, pick 1 enemy unit that it flew over. Roll a d6 for each model in that unit, up to a maximum of 10 dice. Add 1 to the rolls if the unit is infantry. And each roll 5+ or 4+ for infantry. Unit being bombed suffers a mortal wound. So that's not too bad, and it's a decent bomb. But you, again, unfortunately, only have 2 of them. So after you drop your second bomb, it still got a decent shot. You're still got 12 shots, half of them hitting on 4s instead of 3s or 5s. So, and you also give them Scorcher missiles, which are not bad. They're strength 5, AP -1, 1 damage, and do not gain any bonus for being in cover. Scorcher missiles are not bad either. They're a little expensive, but not too bad for what you get out of them. But I probably wouldn't get those because there's always a better option for the burner bomber, and that is sacrificing itself, because it has the explosive demise rule. If this model is reduced to 0 wounds, roll a d6 before removing it from the battlefield. On a 4+, it crashes and explodes, and each unit within 6 suffers 3 mortal wounds. Not d3, but just straight up 3. So this is one plane you want to put in your opponent's face and say, please shoot me. especially after you drop the second bomb. You want to fly over something, drop a bomb on it, do a bunch of mortal wounds, and park as close as possible to as many enemy units as possible, and dare them to shoot it, because they're going to take some damage from this when it explodes if it's close to them. So yeah, burner bombers are fun. They are great. They want to drop some bombs, do some mortal wounds, and then come in and do some mortal wounds when it dies. Fantastic. I love that rule. Now if Scorches would do the same thing, that would be perfect. This is what I want Scorches to do. If you watch my last video, explosive demise, something just like that for Scorches would be great. So they deal mortal wounds to infantry, so they're going to be really good against heavy infantry like the Asteptus Custodes, where they have multiple wounds and 3-up saves. So, you know, probably take out 1 or 2 guys per burner bomb wouldn't be too bad. And then just park right in the middle of them and say, here, please kill me, and now you can take even more mortal wounds. So burner bombers are going to be good against the heavy infantry, which is what Orks lack. So burner bombs, again, have a place. I think the burner bombs are best against heavy infantry, not light infantry. I mean, they're fun. I've used them against, what was that game? It was Tyranid, so it was just Gaunts was all that got hit by the burner bombs. That's no fun. But bigger units of heavy infantry will definitely suffer with the burner bombs. So again, it has its place. And that explosive demise is awesome. We need more stuff like that in the Ork book when it comes out. Blitz Bomber. This is probably I think probably the worst of the options, because the boom bombs do 1 die in the unit for a maximum of 10 dice, and 3 dice for each vehicle or monster in the unit. So if you're booming 1 vehicle, you do 3 dice on a 4-up, the unit being bomb suffers a mortal wound. So the most this can do to a vehicle is 3 mortal wounds. And I don't think that's really effective. And once the bombs are gone, it has a big shooter and 2 super shooters. So it doesn't have a lot left afterwards. And unlike the burner bomb, which can actually do some damage when it dies, this is just a regular explosion. On a 6, it does D3 mortal wounds. So the Blitz Bomber, I don't really think has much of a place. I don't think it does enough damage to the vehicles to justify it being on the battlefield. It needs to do more. The boom bomb needs to do more damage. It needs to be devastating to really be something you want to take to the take against an armored army. Something like Imperial Guard with a bunch of Leman Russes. You want to be able to do a decent number of mortal wounds to multiple vehicles with this. And I just don't think it has the firepower needed to do anything, really. I mean, 3 mortal wounds to Leman Russ really doesn't do much. And so, last one is the Wazbomb Blastojet, which is a lot of fun. So you've got some options. Wazbomb Blastojet is a single model equipped with 2 Wazbomb Mega Cannons, a Smash-A-Gun, and a Stick Bomb Flinger. And you probably won't take any of those. So first of all, one option is that you can replace the Stick Bomb Flinger with a custom force field. And I think that's pretty much a universal upgrade you're going to take with this, because then you have a 5 force field with a 9-inch projection from the plane itself, or the base. I'll have to look there. From the plane itself. And that's great, especially if you're flying with other flyers, and the other flyers get that 5-up invul save. Gorkanauts would get that 5-up invul save very easily. And then, you know, smaller units, you know, infantry units would be a lot harder to get into that 9-inch bubble. I'm pretty sure it measures from the hull, not the base, on that effect. So that's a good way to kit a highly mobile force field with a little bit of survivability. And especially with other planes, you definitely want to fly this when you take the KFF when flying with other planes. So everyone has that 5-up invul save. Of course, it has the same abilities. Let's see, Mech Brain enhanced weapon sights. A Wazbomb Blastojet does not suffer the penalty to hit rolls for moving and firing heavy weapons. So your Mega Cannons will always hit normally. In addition, this model can choose a single enemy unit each shooting phase and add 1 to hit rolls against that model made with the Smash-A-Gun. Unfortunately, just the Smash-A-Gun. If that was the Smash-A-Gun and the cannons, then, you know, we'd be somewhere. That would really be good, because las bomb mega cannons are heavy D3, so half the shots of a custom mega cannon. Only AP -3, unlike the custom mega cannons -4. No, -3. They are -3. So yeah, it's -3 and D3 damage. But it's half the number of shots. So basically, it's one custom mega cannon, but the points is a little more than double, even after the price drop from chapter approved. You're still paying more for 2 WASBomb mega cannons than 1 custom mega cannon. So basically, this thing needs to have regular custom mega cannons to have that 2d6 shots, and this would be awesome. It does get up in price a little bit, but it's not too bad. And it does still have the smashy gun as well, which I've never really had luck with smashy guns. Oh, that's the one that's AP -4 is the smashy gun. That's right. I can never seem to roll high enough on the 2d6 to get the damage through. Even against, you know, toughness 6 and 7 things, I still seem to always not wound it. So I've never had a lot of luck with the smash gun, but at least the smash gun's hitting on 4s with this one, and then the mega cannons are hitting on 5s even after moving. So yeah, because all the other weapons on everything else are assault weapons, so you don't have to worry about it. But you can even advance if you wanted to. Not like you need to advance flyers. But yeah, so the WASBomb Blastojet having that kept force field is very much a must-take upgrade. And I definitely prefer the mega cannons over the mega blasters, because you get extra range, extra AP, and you get D3 damage instead of 1 damage. And then you know, if the other ability to teleport mega blaster, if this model suffers an unsaved wound from this weapon and is not slain, roll a die. In the phase, if the result is greater than that model's wounds characteristics, it is slain. So you're going to be using this against multiple wound models that have. You're going to be wanting to shoot this thing at vehicles because of the strength 8 and the AP. And not infantry. So you're not going to really be able to pick out characters too easily. So that ability really isn't going to be very useful. Because anything that has 6 or more wounds, it's not going to matter. It's not going to do anything. And that's what you're going to be shooting at anyway. So I would definitely go with the mega cannons and not change them out for the teleport mega blasters. You get extra range, and you get more AP, and you get more damage. So there's no reason not to take them. Yeah, WASBomb Blastojet is great. I love all the guns. It's got a lot of high AP firepower. The ability to get that extra to shoot the heavy weapons without penalty makes them a much better weapon platform than most Ork options. So those are the Ork flyers. They are all pretty good overall. Again, I think the Dakajet is amazing. I love Dakajets. The WASBomb is definitely another way to get some anti-vehicle shooting with the custom mega cannons. Again, I wish they were actual custom mega cannons instead of these WASBomb mega cannons, so they'd get 2d6 shots per plane. Because then it would absolutely be worth it, but hopefully they can do something about that, because that kind of sucks, only having d6 shots. So this thing only puts out 7 d6 plus 1 shots per turn, so it's not going to do much, unfortunately. So that's why it just needs more shots. But again, having the force field is really more important than the damage you can do. But having a mobile mega cannon is not bad either. Overall, I mean, they're fairly priced, I think, for what you get. I think I'm a little underwhelmed with the Blitzer Bomber, but the other ones are all really good. They have a very specific. The Blastojet and the Burner Bomber both have great roles to fill. This one being anti-vehicle, and the Burner Bomber being anti-heavy infantry. And Dakajet is just overall just shoots anything very effectively. So there's nothing wrong with Ork flyers. You should always consider maybe mixing one in with an army, because I said, if nothing else, they're going to be a great distraction for your opponent. to avoid shooting other things that you probably need to be survive long enough to get across the board. So, do you fly Ork Flyers? I love Ork Flyers. I don't play them very much because I've been filling up points with infantry, but Flyers are great, and I've run them all. I run all 5 at once. I ran 3 Dakka and a Burna bomber. I haven't run the Blitz bomber yet, so but I ran the other ones. Very effective. The Dakka were just mowing down infantry and heavy and monsters very effectively. So nothing wrong with any of them. They're fun to fly, and they're pretty effective. So if you run Flyers, let me know. And thanks for watching. Thank you for watching this episode of Talking About Orks. Please subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications for new Talking About Orks videos every Wednesday, new battle reports every Friday, and hobby videos whenever I can. Thanks for watching.